In this example, I'm going to take the opportunity to review the problem-solving method as well. This method will be used to solve all problems in this course, and you should format all your work according to this method as outlined on the right-hand side of the dry erase board. The first example what we're looking at is number 60 on page 32. The problem reads, to be eligible to enter the Boston Marathon, a race that covers a distance of 26.2 miles, a runner must be able to finish in less than 3 hours. What minimum average speed must be maintained to accomplish this? Okay, so the first step in the problem-solving method is to carefully read the problem. All right, so we just did that. In the second step, it asks us to identify what the problem is asking for. So, in reading through the text, or reading the problem, it asks what minimum average speed must be maintained to accomplish this. So it's asking for a minimum average speed. So it's an average speed it's looking for. So what is the problem asking to find or solve for? Average speed. So we're trying to find average speed. So we're going to label using the appropriate variables or units. So we know the average speed is, so we're looking for average speeds in S with a bar over it. I mean, and if you want, you can write that's the average speed. Okay? That's what we're looking for. Or you know what? Sorry, let's write find. That's what I have there. So we write, trying to find that. The next is the given. So what information does the problem give? What information do we know, or what information can we assume that can help us find this? Okay, so let's read the problem. Again, to be eligible to enter the Boston Marathon, a race that covers a distance of 26.2 miles. So what was given there? A distance of 26.2 miles. So we're given a distance. Okay. Let's continue reading, see what else is given to us. A runner must be able to finish in less than 3 hours. 3 hours. What's that? 3 hours? That's a time. 3 hours. What minimum average speed must be maintained to accomplish this? All right, so that's all the information that's given. Okay, so we're trying to find the average speed we've identified. We've identified the given information. The distance is 26.2 miles, and the time is 3 hours. So now that we've identified what we're trying to find, we've identified what is given. We have used the appropriate variables and units. Next, we have to select the appropriate equation that's going to help us, or equations, get to the known quantities to the unknown quantity that we're interested in. And so that equation is the average speed is equal to distance over time. Okay? So we identified the equation. So we want to make sure that you give the equation when you're solving your problems in variable form, right? Do not substitute numbers in. Do not write this. S equals 26.2 miles divided by. Do not write the equation that way. Keep it in variable form. Because I find it's useful to do the basic algebra, while in variable form. Because with numbers, you get confused, like what is this, what is that. So it's best to keep our equations in variable form or symbolic form as long as possible. 5, solve. Show all work and include all units. Circle final answer. So we're looking for average speed. we have this given information, we have this equation. This equation is already solved for what we're looking for. So we don't have to do any algebra. And so if it's already solved for, we can go ahead and make the appropriate substitutions, plugging this in for distance in 26.2 miles and 3 hours in for time. And so we get an average speed of 26.2 divided by 3, 8.733 repeating. Miles per hour is the minimum average speed. If this average speed is greater than that, then they will cover the 26.2 miles in a shorter amount of time than 3 hours. So that's fine, right? But this is the minimum. If the average speed is less than this, it's going to take longer than 3 hours to cover that distance, and therefore they will not qualify. So we circle our final answer. Circle final answer. Assess. Check your work. Well, this work was pretty simple. Is answer reasonable? I don't think. Can a person run at 8.733 miles per hour? I think so. It seems pretty reasonable. If we got like 2 miles per hour, like that seems pretty slow. And the same way, if we got 30 miles per hour as an answer, it's like, well, that's pretty fast for a person to run. I don't think that seems like a reasonable answer. But 8.733 seems very reasonable to me. If you want to be a really confident answer, maybe you could Google what a typical pace is for a person running, and see what the range of running pace is for a human. That would give you maybe more confidence in your answer. But that's applying your problem-solving method. And this is a pretty straightforward